Hello Monster Jam fans and welcome to another commentary here on the channel. We are here in Arlington, Texas at AT&T Stadium for another Quarter 2 show. This is the October show of the 2019 Arlington season. Obviously we stop in Texas quite a few times. Sometimes it's difficult to keep up with what we're doing, but we are about to begin intros, and before we get into the full lineup, we've got a few special drivers that want to come, well, that not want to, but that are coming out onto the track. And we kick it off with Brianna Mahan, your best trick champion from the All-Star Challenge in Whiplash. That's right, everybody. Brianna Mahan coming onto the track. And you may already have noticed, but my microphone sounds 10 times better. You know why? That's because it is. Finally have upgraded that. You won't be hearing me, well, you'll be hearing me yell, but you won't be hearing me breaking your ears when I yell from now on. You're welcome. But Brianna Mahan on the track now. But next up, we have the creator of Carnage himself. Welcome him into the stadium, AT&T Stadium. All of you Arlington fans, he is the current two-wheel skills world champion. He also won his tour this year. He's the captain of Team Fire. It is Tom Mentz in Max D. This is the track that we'll be seeing on the Red Tour next year. Excited to see that play out. So this will be a cool track, but up next we have the captain of Team Ice from the All-Star Challenge. It is Scaputo in El Toro Loco Ice. You guys can be counting on seeing that All-Star Challenge video next weekend. That commentary will be coming out. Excited to be bringing that to you. Got to work on that video this week, and it'll be coming out on Friday and Saturday. But here's Scaputo onto the track. He's going up and butting heads, obviously, with Max D's Tom Mentz. And next and last but not least, it is the man himself who won the racing competition on Friday night in the All-Star Challenge and won freestyle in the All-Star Challenge. He is quite possibly the best driver in Monster Jam history. It's Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. Coming onto the track, and he will be the last driver before we get into proper intros. Ryan Anderson doing a victory lap. As always, you can count on him to do that. So Monster Jam fans, before we get into the show, obviously we are going to have a boatload of drivers now coming out of the track, of remaining drivers in this incredible lineup. This lineup has a lot of former world champions and future champions to come in this amazing stadium, ready to tear it up for you fans. Among them, we have the 2018 World Racing Champion, the 2019 Two-Wheel Skills Champion, the 2018 World Freestyle Champion, and many more, all sprinkling in this heavy, stacked up lineup. This is Monster Jam. Now let's find out who's competing in this amazing lineup. We have Cynthia Gauthier in Monster Month Dalmatian Ice, Adam Anderson in Gravedigger, Tom Benson, Max D Fire, Stephen Thompson in Hurricane Force, Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger, Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken, Matt Pagliarulo in Jester, Richie Yatsko in Storm Damage, Scott Buto in Ice El Toro Loco, Heavy D in Brodozer, Bryce Kenny in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Brandon Mahan in Whiplash, Todd LeDuc in Monster Energy, and Camden Murphy in the Bakugan Dragonoid. It is a stacked lineup here today, and I must say this is going to be an amazing show. Now, Monster Jam fans, welcome to the America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses Racing Competition. We are here in round one, and as we enter this racing competition, we have to obviously set the stage for what is up for grabs. The winner of the racing competition will get the first 14 points on the road to the overall event championship, and the event champion will bring home that big trophy at the end of the day. In the first round, we're going to have 12 trucks competing, and then we're going to have 2 trucks that get first round buys into the second round, which will be Stephen Thompson in Hurricane Force and Adam Anderson in Gravedigger. But we're going to kick off round number 1 with Monster Energy and Todd LeDuc taking on Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken. Todd LeDuc has been a great racer over the course of his career, but Nick Pagliarulo has certainly showed up to play as of late in the racing competition, so you never know who's going to come out with the win in this one. The 2 green Monster Jam trucks are going to wait for the tech officials to tell them to turn their Monster Jam machines on, and then they're going to back up and stage up to the line before they get the green light. You can see the red light. It's all the way on the left side of your screen over the backflip ramp. You can keep your eye on that if you want to see when the race is going to begin, and you can be in sync with when these drivers are going to be starting their Monster Jam trucks and going over that first jump. We're going to have so many great matchups over this racing competition, and you never know what you're going to see. We have seen some incredible racing competitions here in just Arlington alone over the last few years, and you guys can be sure to get your money's worth at this show here tonight. They're going to make sure the track is clear before they can fire the trucks. They have to make sure everybody is off the track before those trucks are fired. Safety is always the number one priority of Monster Jam.
Already in round number 2, Monster Energy and Kraken in this round 1 matchup. Max D against Storm Damage, the second round 1 matchup, and then Great Clips Mohawk Warrior against Bakugan Dragonoid. Those 2 wanted each other in round number 1, and they got it. The other side of the bracket, 5-time World Finals champion Adam Anderson and Gravedigger automatically advancing into round 2. He will meet the winner of Monster Month Dalmatian Ice and Brodozer. And the second matchup on that side of the bracket, Brandon Mahan in Whiplash against Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. They were Team Ice teammates 2 weeks ago, competing against each other here in round 1. Our final round 1 matchup in America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses racing bracket will be Scott Buto and El Toro Loco Ice against Matt Pagliarulo in Jester. There's a lot of exciting round 1 matchups to take a look at. Gravedigger, Hurricane Force is going to sit back and watch. I mentioned Todd LeDuc winning his Racing World Finals Championship in 2015. He won it all in freestyle in 2014 at Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas. We have 1 staging line. We wait the second.
So the trucks are fired. They're going to back up and get themselves staged. The tech officials have cleared the track, and we are getting ready to go racing here in Arlington. The driver who wins this race will get themselves into round number 2 with a date with Stephen Thompson in Hurricane Force. So this is an important win for whichever one of these drivers takes it home. This is a typical St. Louis style track like we've been seeing all year long in 2019, so these guys should have no problem feeling comfortable on this track. But it's Tyler LeDuc pulling away early, and he is going to get that first race win here in round number 1. Tyler LeDuc bringing home an 18.5, a really fast time. We'll have to wait and see if that will be the fastest time. It looked very quick. The next race here in round number 1, we have Storm Damage driven by Richie Yatsko taking on the captain of Team Fire, the professor himself. It is Tom Meents in Max D Fire.
Of his 12 World Finals championships, 5 came in racing.
Tom Meents has been an elite driver all year long. He won his tour, and you know that he is going to keep pushing today, wanting to get another racing win under his belt. But this is a really talented racing lineup. We've got some incredible racers out here in Arlington. You better believe that Tom Meents is not going to be getting an easy fight in his route to that championship. Richie Yatsko has not had much experience behind the wheel in Monster Jam, and this year he has never ran on this track before, so it could prove some problems for him in his racing tenure tonight, and it will indeed, as Tom Meents and Max D is going on to the final round. Richie Yatsko unable to finish the race. That lack of experience on this track most certainly cost him that race right there. As you can see, an 18.56. A really good time for Tom Meents. Up next here, representing the Great Clips Mohawk Nation, it is Bryce Kenny in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. In that right lane, it is the up-and-coming superstar in his first year in stadiums. It is Camden Murphy in the Bakugan Dragonoid. These two have not raced each other much all year long. They were on opposite tours, which means that they don't have much experience going head-to-head in stadiums. However, there is a connection between these two drivers, as Camden Murphy did fill in for Bryce Kenny in the Mohawk Warrior in 2017 in Foxborough, Massachusetts. That was Camden Murphy's first ever stadium show. Camden Murphy has been on fire all year long in this racing competition. He's so smooth on this track, and Bryce Kenny pull out a big win here over the young star. It looks like he will not be able to. The winner of this race is Camden Murphy and the Bakugan Dragonoid with a 17.974, an impressive time, cracking under 18 seconds, most definitely the fastest time by far of the night. That may hold up for a little while. But up next here in racing round number 1, we have Cynthia Gauthier representing Team Ice in the Monster Mutt Dalmatian Ice, taking on the leader of the Brodozer truck himself. It is Heavy D. You can see up there on the video board that Diesel Dave is watching along. He is recording this run. He wants to give his buddy Heavy D a little bit of an extra boost. Heavy D driving the diesel-powered Monster Jam truck, looking to take down one of the top superstars in the sport. It is a close race down to the line, but it looks from here that Cynthia Gauthier took that win. We're going to have to go up to the video board. Could not tell who won that race. And right there, 18.8 is the time for Cynthia Gauthier. That will bring home her the win, and it'll put her in round number 2. The second to last race in round number 1, we have Brianna Mahan, the best trick champion in Whiplash, taking on the historically best driver in Monster Jam history, arguably. It is Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. Ryan Anderson wants to get some racing wins right now. He has been starved for some of those here in these stadiums in the second quarter. He has not had the success in racing all year. However, he did bring home that racing win on Friday night in the All-Star Challenge for Team Ice. If he can knock down Brandon Mahan in round number 1, that would be a huge advantage for him because he will be one step closer to not only those 14 points, but that elusive racing win. And he will get that bit closer, winning this round 1 race. A huge win for Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. Now the last race here of round number 1 is against 2 light blue Monster Jam machines. In that left lane, it is Matt Pagliarulo in Chester. And in the right lane, he is the captain of Team Ice. It is Scott Buto in El Toro Loco Ice. Light blue trucks on a dark blue track. These guys might blend in as they go along, so make sure you're focused. You may lose them along the track. These are 2 drivers that are known for their freestyles, not necessarily known for their racing capabilities, which means that this could end up being a very interesting race. Oh my, Matt Pagliarulo with some serious issues. He's up on the pad. That is not the way he wanted to go out. Scott Buto in the ISO Toro Loco is moving on to round 2. Matt Pagliarulo with some rear steer problems. Hopefully he can get that fixed for the skills competition. Well, without further ado, let's go racing here in round number 2. America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses Monster Jam Racing is going to kick off with another really heavyweight matchup. 2 of the most beautiful trucks in Monster Jam right now are going toe-to-toe here in this round 2 matchup to kick off round 2 races. There will be 4 races in round number 2 before we head over to the semifinal round, before we eventually will crown a racing champion. His first race of the night here. It'll be a tough task, as you can see in that new body style, the black and purple. It is Steven Thompson in Hurricane Force. But he has a very difficult opponent that he has to take down if he wants to move on. It is Todd LeDuc in Monster Energy. LeDuc looked very fast in round number 1. There's a lot of smoke coming out of the Hurricane Force truck. Hopefully that is not too problematic. Doesn't seem to be the end of the night for Hurricane Force necessarily, but Todd LeDuc will end up beating him in racing, so it is the end of his racing night with a 17.998. A great time for Monster Energy, but that is not the fastest time of the night, but it is still a sub-18 time. And the man who does have the fastest time of the night is in that right lane. He will be the captain of Bakugan Dragonoid. It is Camden Murphy. And in that left lane, it is the captain of Team Fire. He had Camden Murphy on his team in the All-Star Challenge. It is Tom Mentz in Max D Fire. This is going to be one of the best races you will see of the night, Monster Jam fans. 2 of the best racers of our day today. Camden Murphy seemed to get the jump off the line. These 2 were on tour with each other all year long. Camden Murphy, I'm sure, picked up a lot of tips from Tom Mentz. Clearly they paid off as he knocks him down by about 3 truck lengths. And this round 2 win is moving into Camden Murphy's hands with a 17.662, the fastest time of the night. Camden Murphy looks dialed in right now. Next up, he got an automatic bye into round number 2, so hopefully he will be smooth on this track. It is Adam Anderson in Gravedigger. And in the left lane, in the Ice Monster Mutt Dalmatian, it is the girl with no fear. It is Cynthia Gauthier. Adam Anderson is hoping to continue his impressive record this year. 15 stadium racing wins all year long. He has been one of the most dominant racers in all of Monster Jam this year. You have to be looking out for that as we look forward to the top 50 drivers of 2019. that racing record may pull Adam Anderson ahead of most of the drivers in this competition. They're close in the turn, but Cynthia Gauthier is no match for the black and green wrecking machine as Adam Anderson in Gravedigger is moving on with an 18.296. Not the fastest time of the night. Hopefully he can get that picked up as he moves on throughout this competition because as you've seen, Tyler Duke and Camden Murphy both have sub 18 second times. The next race here we have in the left lane, the captain of Team Ice, it is Scott Buto in El Toro Loco Ice. And the man who has the second fastest time of the night, it is Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. Ryan Anderson hopes to cruise through this race. As I mentioned in the last time Buto raced, he's not known for his racing. However, Buto did draft Ryan first in the All-Star Challenge draft, obviously being a number one pick. I mean, it's not the All-Star Challenge anymore, but I think Buto would understand if Anderson knocked him down. And indeed he will. Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger will advance into the semifinal round. He'll be taking his brother on in that matchup. But now we will move into the semifinal round. The first race of this semifinals before the Anderson battle is going to be a race of two of the fastest drivers of the day so far. These guys have been on top of their game, and you better believe that they're going to be even more on top of their game, knowing that they're going up against each other. In the left lane, it is Tyler Duke in Monster Energy taking on Camden Murphy in the Bakugan Dragonoid. Ryan Anderson now holds the fastest time of the night after that last race, so Camden Murphy's got a little catching up to do, I should say, but nonetheless, still an impressive race that we are about to watch between two of the best racers in Monster Jam right now. They are off the line looking fairly even right now. Tyler Duke going wide entering that turn because he wants to get a better hole shot out of it. That is something the Duke does in every turn. But right now it is going to cost him a race win tonight as Camden Murphy in the Bakugan Dragonoid is going to cruise ahead. Tyler Duke finishes at 33.218 and Camden Murphy just gets faster by the round, a 17.491. And up next, we have the brothers going head-to-head in the left lane. It is Adam Anderson in Gravedigger taking on his brother, Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. They have matched up so many times. We have still yet to see the one race that we all want is the Adam Anderson versus Ryan Anderson World Championship race in the final round. That hopefully will come someday. But right now, we've got to settle for this semifinal round matchup here in Arlington, Texas. Oh my, they are squirrely to the line and they both cross weirdly. I don't know who won that race. That was a crazy finish. We're going to have to take a look at the video board. I'm getting word that your winner is Gravedigger. We have reached the time for the America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses Monster Jam final round of racing. Tonight, we are about to crown the driver to get the first 14 points on the road to the overall event championship. We are on the road to Monster Jam World Finals 21 in Orlando, Florida, and these two drivers really expect to be there with their performances over the 2019 season. So without further ado, let's meet your final round contenders. in the left lane. He has been fast all night, but last round was a bit of a difficult race for him, trying to take down his brother. It is Adam Anderson in Gravedigger. And in the right lane, it's the man who's been so close to some racing titles over his lifetime in Monster Jam. He won racing last week in Houston. He's been bad fast all night, has the fastest time of the night so far. It's Camden Murphy and the Bakugan Dragonoid. Camden Murphy has been on a roll so far in racing. He was in the semifinal round in the Vegas style racing at the All-Star Challenge on Saturday night. Then he came out in Houston, won racing there. He's in the final round again today. Who's going to win? And Adam Anderson with rear steer issues is not winning this race, which means that Camden Murphy has just won racing for back-to-back weekends. Oh my goodness, he's doing some donuts. Throw him on any type of track and Camden Murphy is going to be unstoppable. He went from Vegas style racing to the 2007 style Chicago track, now to the St. Louis style, and Camden Murphy and the Bakugan Dragonoid has won the first 14 points on the road to the overall event championship here tonight.
The ultimate test of a driver's ability to perform on just two wheels will be showcased in this competition. Now you, the fans, will score their performance.
The next competition today is the Great Clips Skills Challenge. The reason that name is a little different is because it is no longer just two-wheel skills. These drivers can go out there and do either one of two things. They can go out there and do two-wheel skills moves, where they do two moves where the Monster Jam truck is on two wheels, or they can do one donut. So that criteria, you want to look for just completion of attempts, donuts, stoppies, poppers, wheelies, sky wheelies, nose wheelies, bicycles, and more. You want to look for diversity of moves, difficulty of moves, and how difficult it is for a certain driver to complete a move. If a driver hasn't done a certain move in their career and they do something awesome out here on the track, then you better be giving them a bit of a higher score. Kicking off the skills challenge today is Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken. Matt Pagliarulo and Richie Yatsko are not going to be competing in this competition. Hopefully they can get themselves back for freestyle. Nick Pagliarulo has had some second quarter two-wheel skills luck. Not necessarily in the two-wheel skills competition, though. We've seen him do some really cool two-wheel moves in his freestyles, but for some reason when it's time for the skills competition, he just doesn't get those moves down. Even went as far, did a one-wheel popper in Glendale. And he's on the front two wheels doing a stoppie. Went for the moonwalk but could not quite get it. A solid first hit for Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken. He's lining up for another move here. He's on the front two wheels for a popper. And again, doesn't quite get that moonwalk, so a good hit Two solid hits there for Nick Pagliarulo, the Kraken Monster Jam truck. So close. However, it's only going to be a 3.8 for Kraken, so that is their score to beat. Next up in the two-wheel skills challenge, it is the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Bryce Kenny has to beat a 3.8 if he wants to take the lead. Bryce Kenny has had his fair share of interesting two-wheel moves over the year. Hasn't had much success, hasn't won any of those competitions so far, so I'm sure he would love to win one right now. Lining up for the backside of the racing lane, going for a sky wheelie, and he is, vertical! He lands it, and he's going to walk the wheelie down the racing lane. An amazing first hit for the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. He got that truck absolutely vertical, stuck the landing. That was a great first hit for the Mohawk Warrior. He stuffed the rear end of the truck. He's got one hit left, Monster Jam fans. He went for a popper. It didn't work out very well. So sadly, Bryce Kenny's run is going to be cut a little bit short. He's going to get a 5.836, which will be your new leader. The next truck out, as you, I'm sure, can hear by the lack of noise on the track, it is Brodozer, driven by Heavy D. Heavy D is known for throwing down anytime out on the track. Heading for the backside of the racing lane, going for a sky wheelie. Didn't get it as beautifully as Bryce Kenny did, but he still has one hit left, and Bryce Kenny did not capitalize on hit number 2, so maybe the Diesel brother leader, Heavy D, can do just that. I wouldn't necessarily call him the Diesel brothers leader, but still, the man who is so proud of this Monster Jam truck, Heavy D. With the way he's lining up on the track now, it looks like he's going for a bicycle. He is indeed going for a bicycle on 2 wheels, and he's going to combo it up on the step up. That little step up move does not count towards his scoring. He's going to get a 7.579. Your new leader is Heavy D and Brodozer. Up next is the best trick competition winner from the All-Star Challenge. It is Brianna Mahan in Whiplash. Brianna has not had such success in this skills competition all year long. She is more known for her freestyles. And she's going to do a donut here, changing things up. The first donut in the skills competition. And she is really whipping this donut. She's giving herself whiplash in that truck, I'm sure. But what a great run for Brianna Mahan in Whiplash. The first ever donut portion of this skills competition. It's going to get her a 6.412. Not quite enough for that win. Up next here we have Hurricane Force. This is piloted by Steven Thompson. This is a new body that he has come out with for the 2019 season. He debuted it in Monster Jam all the way back in Stafford Springs, Connecticut in the end of July. Now he is out here in the stadium circuit rocking this new body. You may remember that he piloted the Earthshaker Monster Jam truck on stadiums all season long. He was on the Green Tour alongside Adam Anderson, Bryce Kenny, and more. And a bicycle attempt there gone a little bit wrong. Didn't work out very well for Steven Thompson there. After spinning it back around, he's on the backside of the racing lane, going vertical. A little sky wheelie there for Hurricane Force, so 2 good hits for Steven Thompson. The score coming in is going to be a 4.500, so that won't take the lead. Your current leader is still Heavy D and Brodozer, but up next, it is the man who is so consistent in two-wheel skills. It is Tom Mentz in Max D. Tom Mentz has been on top of his game all season long. You can count on him to be there when you need a good two-wheel run. He's lining up for his patented backflip ramp moonwalk, also known as the Mentz moonwalk. He is on the top of the backflip ramp. And he is walking the Max D Monster Jam truck. A good stoppie right now. He is just walking that puppy all the way down. Maybe he can throw it into a moonwalk and walk it back. He's not going to. He's going to set it down. So a great stoppie off of the backflip ramp. Hit number 1 is a great success for Tom Mentz, but he's still got another hit left. Let's see what Tom's got in store for hit number 2. Oh my, looks like he's lining up for a popper off of the pad, or what's he doing here? This is something Tom Mentz has not done. He's doing a stoppie off of that jump, and he's going to moonwalk it up the ramp. Oh my, and he combos it into a slap wheelie. A great move for Tom Mentz. That's a move he doesn't do very often. It's a 9.468, an amazing score that will take the lead. Next up, it is Monster Mutt Dalmatian Ice, driven by Cynthia Gauthier. Cynthia's going to have a difficult job following up what Tom Mentz just did. She went for a slap, but he didn't quite get the slap out of it. The truck did not get on its rear 2 wheels, so that's 1 hit in the book. She's got 1 more left to try and wow these fans and take the 2-wheel skills lead. And it's a sky wheelie that she's going to walk down a little bit onto the racing lane, so 2 hits are in the books now. The score for Monster Mutt Dalmatian Ice is a 4.693. Next up here in this 2-wheel skills challenge is Scaputo in Ice El Toro Loco. Sky wheelie time out of Scaputo, blowing the smoke out of the nose. That's 1 hit for El Toro Loco Ice. Scaputo is known for doing his sky wheelies in this competition. Again, not necessarily known for the best of 2-wheel skills moves, but he still goes out there and has a fun time. This is a move we saw him try last week in Houston. He went for a sky wheelie off of the step up. He got a 5.580 in this 2-wheel skills challenge. Up next, we have Todd the Duke in Monster Energy. Todd the Duke got knocked out in the semifinal round of racing. You know that he wants some redemption here. He hooks back around after coming off of that racing lane. He's going to hit it from the rear end. Setting up to pop it off of this racing lane. Gets it on the nose, but the truck pitches itself at a weird angle. He's unable to get himself a good stoppie there. But again, Todd the Duke is just so good in this 2-wheel skills competition, you never know what he's going to have in store for both hits combined. Todd is just Mr. Consistent in Monster Jam, and you never know what he's going to throw out onto the track. He's on the front two wheels again. He's stopping it. He's flooring that truck. And he's dancing around. Oh, no. But Monster Energy is on its lid. He's going to lose that nose. Scores a good one. It's a 7.780. Todd the Duke, though, not going to take the lead from Tom Meents. Up next, we have Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. Ryan Anderson competed in the Two-Wheel Skills Challenge in the Monster Jam World Finals in Orlando, Florida this year. You could see him maybe compete again in that competition in Orlando for World Finals 21. That'll be taking place May 4th and 5th in Orlando, Florida. You're not going to want to miss it. You can see guys like Ryan Anderson go toe-to-toe with other amazing Monster Jam drivers in four different main truck competitions and other obstacle course competitions. But right now, Ryan Anderson competing in Two-Wheel Skills here in Arlington. However, that truck is on its lid. Not a great run. He almost saved it. It's going to be a 7.989. That will not take the lead. But up next, we have Adam Anderson in Gravedigger, the second to last truck out here in the Two-Wheel Skills competition. He's still yet to see Camden Murphy in the Bakugan Dragonoid, who is your racing winner. What they have been doing here in the second quarter is the driver who wins racing comes out last in the Two-Wheel Skills competition. Adam Anderson lining up for hit number one here. He's in a bicycle. And a good bicycle there for Adam Anderson, the black and green wrecking machine. Adam Anderson is not known for his Two-Wheel Skills moves, but again, he has pulled some rabbits out of his hat, so you never know what he's going to do here in Arlington, Texas. He's lining up for the backside of that step up, looking for a sky wheelie like he did last week. It's not as vertical as he got it in Houston, which is going to affect his scores as an 8.922. And now your racing winner looking to double down. He's the last truck out here in Two-Wheel Skills. It is Camden Murphy in the Bakugan Dragonoid. As I mentioned in previous commentaries, Camden has really not had so much luck here in the second quarter. His racing's been on point, yes, but his Two-Wheel Skills and freestyle, I mean, they've been somewhat solid, but his scores have not reflected that, which is a bit of a disappointment. So hopefully he can come through with something awesome here in the Two-Wheel Skills. He's perched on top of the step-up. Not sure what he's going to be doing here. Going for a stoppie. Could not quite get the grab for it, so he's got one hit left. But I don't think he's going to be poised to take the lead here. He's going to need to do something absolutely mind-blowing if he wants to beat what Tom Meents did. Tom Meents sits in the hot seat with a 9.468. Oh man, he doesn't quite hit the brakes in time, so that truck is going to be put down. A little bit of a disappointing break. So Camden Murphy is not going to win the Two-Wheel Skills competition, which means that your winner is Tom Meents in Max D. But up next, we have the freestyle competition, and we started off with Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken. Nick Pagliarulo, like I mentioned, has had some really great second quarter freestyles. I've been very impressed with what he's done. He's only got a small sample size, obviously, but he has competed in most of second quarter shows. Seems like he is already having truck issues. But I think it looked like his rear steer wasn't quite working properly, but I think he straightened that out. But he's off. He will have 120 seconds on the clock, as does everybody when they come out and freestyle. Add a little bit of a dirt ramp over on that side of the track to add an extra obstacle. Obviously, when these dirt crew people are making the track, you want to have the best track possible. And you want to have as many different options for these drivers to hit in freestyle, and maybe even adding just a little bump like that can change things up enough that this freestyle competition will be diverse. And that's what we've come to today. I mean, we see so many different tracks. There are some tracks that freestyle could be a little repetitive, but a track like this, there's a lot of different options. You're going to be seeing a lot of really cool things. And he's going in, like I mentioned before, a two-wheel move in his freestyle run. He got into a stoppie and eventually moonwalked it. So like I said, Nick Pagliarulo is able to just impromptu stoppie in his runs and freestyle, but when he's actually trying to do it in two-wheel, he can't. It's crazy, but I mean, hey, it's helping out his freestyle. Hitting the backside of the step up. Like I was saying before, I think out of the 3 new tracks for next year, I think between the Yellow Tour and the Green Tour, they're both going to be seeing some really awesome things. I think mainly the Green Tour, that track has so many different ramps to hit. This track by far has the least ramps to hit for freestyle. There's not many different angles on different ramps. You know, you can see that step up on the far side all the way down to the end of the track. I mean, in the other track, on the green track, oh my, Nick Pagliarulo is rolling over and he is going to be finishing his run. But on the green track, you'll see that jump on the far end will have multiple different angles to hit the jump so that you don't have a repetitive freestyle. But sadly for Nick Pagliarulo, his run's going to be cut a wee bit short. It's a 6.540. Up next in freestyle, we have Richie Yatsko in Storm Damage, this new Storm Damage body. I'm really perplexed by this Storm Damage body. It looks like, I mean, it's giving me like Maryland State, like, logo vibes. Or it could be kind of, I don't even know. It's an interesting body, but nonetheless, Richie Yatsko's out here freestyling. And it seems like he's already having truck problems. He was having truck problems in two-wheel skills, didn't get to make it out. The truck fired, but it just wouldn't go forward, so it seems like he's having more gremlins here. Oh man, that is the end of the run. It is a 4.261. So a tough break for Storm Damage is going to cut his night a little short. A disappointing night for Storm Damage. But up next, the third truck out in freestyle is Cynthia Gauthier. Monster Mutt Dalmatian Ice has to beat a 6.54. Shouldn't be too difficult for her. She's hitting the jammer right off the bat, announcing her presence. Cynthia Gauthier has already won a handful of freestyles this year, and she's hoping to continue her great year in freestyle. She is flooring it over the front end of the step up, getting big air. She has thrown this truck around like a rag doll all year long. She's truly shown her big air side. She can really give this puppy some hang time. She's even somewhat emerged as the primary Monster Mutt Dalmatian driver. Almost went over, but that truck is staying on all 4 of those BKT tires. She has been shut off. The truck is not fired. We're going to pause the clock at 61 seconds, so she is exactly halfway through her run. Oh my, she's getting out of the truck already. So not a great run for Cynthia Gauthier. However, it will take the lead. It's going to take the lead with a 7.926 for a truck that for a run that was 60 seconds long. I'm not really sure how that took the lead, but nonetheless, Cynthia Gauthier is still sitting in that hot seat. But up next, we have Scott Buto and El Toro Loco Ice, a guy who would love to rip her out. Again, the winner of this competition, as well as the other 2, win 14 points on the road to the overall event championship. We saw Canada Murphy take the first 14 and Tom Meents take the next 14. So the question is, who is going to take the final 14? Scott Buto is trying to begin his quest nicely with some big air off of the racing lane. Scott Buto is known for his backflips. He's one of the most efficient backflippers in all of Monster Jam. And you better believe that whenever he's on the track, a backflip's in his sights. And some massive air over the racing lane. Scott Buteau, another guy who, starting in 2018, really showed his big air side of him. Had a few stops in the 2018 season where he was getting some big-time air and walking a wheelie. He comboed that wheelie on top of the pad. An amazing move there. The best move of his run so far. But like I was saying, he did get some incredible air back in 2018 in stops like Orlando and Anaheim. Just some massive air. You can look those up online. You can find them. I mean, just some huge air he had gotten, and he's gotten some big air throughout the year this year, but I don't think anything has surmounted what he did in Anaheim last year with probably the biggest leap of his career and quite even possibly the biggest leap of the year. He's having a good run so far. He has mixed in some nice air. I've been impressed by this run altogether. It's been a fun run. Buteau is known for his freestyles. I mentioned it in racing that he's not known for his racing. This guy's a freestyler, and he proves that every time out onto the track. The only thing is that will affect his rating in the top 50 drivers of the year because you really need to be an overall spectacular driver. Lining up for the backflip ramp, that Monster Energy backflip ramp getting its first hit of the day, and Scott Buteau is the first person to take a stab at it, and he nails it. A good backflip for the backflip man himself, and he's going to go for the backside of that step up, trying to mix in some nice air throughout his run. He can definitely take the lead at this point. The question is, what will he do to try and pad his winning resume? The time is up. His run is over. Anything else is just for you fans, but he is not going to be doing anything else. His run is up. He's going to perch it on top of those cars. A good run for Scott Buteau. El Toro Loco Ice. That score for El Toro Loco Ice is a 9.252. But up next, it is Matt Pagliarulo in Jester. This turquoise blue Jester is ready to rock. His best freestyle of the year came, well, of the second quarter, came in Glendale. He's been having a very difficult second quarter. I believe it was San Antonio earlier this year where he had that amazing save, though. But Glendale did put a run to that run's money. Nice little play on words there. But he's out here rocking this awesome looking blue body. Can't wait to see this truck run full time next year instead of just in a few second quarter shows. Not sure if Matt's going to want to tear it up right now though, because I mean if he wants to keep it beautiful for next year, you can't really destroy this body quite yet. I'm sure it'll be demolished by the end of 2020. However, right now this truck is just a work of art. He didn't compete in the skills competition, so you know that he's going to be looking for some big things in freestyle, and you don't have to break the truck to get some big air, and I think he proves that week in and week out. The guy gets some huge air and doesn't always break his body. Yes, sometimes the truck parts will break, but as long as that beautiful blue body will stay intact, I think Matt Pagliarulo will be a happy camper at the end of the night. But the goal is always to put down a great run. Matt Pagliarulo prides himself on his big air. The Tomfoolery Motorsports team captain is always an excitement when he comes out onto the track to freestyle. And some nice air over that racing lane. We haven't seen Matt Pagliarulo do a backflip in quite some time. The question is, will he mix one into his freestyle here in Arlington? Again, hitting that step up, he locks up those brakes. When you tap those brakes, and it's called a brake check, the truck will flatten out. Hopefully, it'll flatten out. Sometimes it won't if you're at a certain angle, but evening the truck out is such an important thing because you don't want to be at a strange angle or else the truck could possibly break. And for independent drivers, that's not great because that's a little bit of a cut out of your paycheck. But Matt Pagliarulo doesn't really mind right now. He's throwing down a good run. He breaks parts all the time, and he's okay with it because you know what? The fans get a good show, and that's what these guys are all here for, is to make sure that the fans watching the show get their money's worth. And Matt Pagliarulo is giving them just that in this freestyle. It's been a combination of nice air. The momentum has not been where it could be. He almost flipped over there, but that run has been a good one to this point. The time is up. Anything else is just for you Monster Jam fans out here in Arlington, Texas. So Matt Pagliarulo, a good run. So the score for Matt Pagliarulo is a 6.380. The score to beat is still Scott Buto in El Toro Loco Ice. But up next, the guy who wants to put an end to that, it is Bryce Kenny in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Bryce Kenny's had his fair share of good freestyle runs throughout the year. His best one coming most likely from Syracuse. Obviously that could be up for debate, but that Syracuse freestyle was a big one. He won freestyle there. For the second straight year he won freestyle in Syracuse. That's not an easy task. First of all, being there for 2 years in a row isn't always guaranteed. And when you are, if you win freestyle both years, that's a pretty impressive thing. I'm sure he's got both of those trophies hung up on his mantle right next to each other. Bryce Kenny's in his second full year driving as a Monster Jam Stadium driver. Started his tenure in Monster Jam in 2016 driving Monster Mutt. Then in 2017 he got called to be the driver of the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior on a triple threat tour. Made it into the World Finals that year from having a really solid year. And then since then, he's been a stadium driver with some incredible success. And I think a lot of these fans have gotten their money's worth every time that this guy comes out on the track. Such a great guy, such a great driver. He's a great person for this sport. He rocks this Mohawk Warrior truck every single weekend. And you have to give him some major credit for it. I mean, the guy's got a wife, he's got a family. It's not easy to be out here every single week, but he does it with some great pride. I mean, he's one of the top drivers in the sport. Seems like that rear steer may be broken, though. He cocked it, and that front right wheel just popped, and he's walking a crab bicycle. Oh, my. It's going to be a little bit of a difficult ride right now because he popped his front right tire on the side of the truck that you don't want to turn in. You don't want to turn into a flat tire, but he really had no choice because, well, I mean, the truck was cocked that way with the rear steer, so the run's going to be cut a little short. It's a 7.364. But up next we have Whiplash. This is Brianna Mahan. Brianna's going to come out and announce her presence with some nice air over that racing lane. She's your best trick champion from 2019's All-Star Challenge. You can count on her to go out here and throw down something great here in freestyle. Had a good run out in Houston. She finished second place. Had a good run. Had a nice save overall. It's up for debate whether she deserved that second place, but nonetheless, she still finished there. Had a good run, and I think she can be proud of where she finished off. It's that little pile of dirt that I was mentioning before. A big leap there, got some air. Oh my, the truck is rolling over. Can she save it? She's fighting that truck, but she cannot save that Monster Jam beast. The turquoise blue Whiplash is on its lid with a 7.342. Up next, it is Brodozer. This is Heavy D. Heavy D, the driver of Brodozer. He is driving the quietest Monster Jam truck in history, and he will do it proudly. His Diesel brother, Diesel Dave, is watching alongside intently, hoping that his good friend can tear it up on this track. We saw Colt Stevens out in Houston do the same last weekend. Diesel Dave is at every single show that Brodozer is at. Heavy D's not at every show, but you'll see Diesel Dave at every single competition. I mean, he's really dedicated. I think that's why he's going to be piloting the Bro Camino next year. I really think he wants to become a full-time driver. I mean, once you start driving a monster truck, if you have the opportunity to drive a monster truck full-time, I mean, why the heck not? I mean, if you're getting that call and I mean, I think that's what Diesel Dave is viewing it as. I mean, I'm getting the chance to drive a monster truck. Absolutely. Heavy D may have other things that he wants to be working on, which is why he's not driving full time. But I mean, he's still driving more than I anticipated him to after they announced that it was going to be the three of them sharing time. He's throwing down a good run out here in Arlington, and I think you never know what you're going to see when these guys are on the track. I mean, they try and go for backflips and mini flips. They always go for big air, though. I think Heavy D's biggest thing is just foot to the floor and pray that that truck is going to end up on all four wheels. And it works out 9 times out of 10, miraculously. I don't know if it's just he's got great luck or he knows exactly when to put his foot to the floor, because that truck always ends up on all four wheels when he goes into a spin cycle of some sort. This truck is not really getting as much air during this run, though, as we've seen in the past. I think he may be conserving some of his truck's energy or something else. I'm not quite sure what, though, but this truck doesn't seem to really be working at full capacity right now. I really don't. He's not getting any speed leading up to jumps. He seems to be trying, it's not really working out for that Brodozer machine. Something's wrong with it. Or maybe he was just simply conserving all that energy for this. I don't know why he would want to do that, but he is seemingly lining up for that mini flip. If he can hit the mini flip, that'll be a big move and a wow moment in his run. The question is the time up? The time is up. This doesn't count. You can't count this in your scoring. A crazy mini flip attempt, however, that truck is on its lid. So the score for Heavy D's Brodozers, an 8.561. Up next, we have Stephen Thompson in Hurricane Force. That truck looks blue up on the video board, does it not? That truck's blue. Is it just me? That truck looks blue right now on the video board. Why is that? I don't know. I've had a thing where when I'm looking at screens, the colors look different. And it's not like I'm colorblind. It's just random times. Like there, it's obviously purple. But it's just the video board. I don't know what it is, but the pixels on things for some reason screw my colors up. Because that looks clearly light blue to me. I don't know why. But enough talking about me and my apparent color blindness. We have Stephen Thompson out here freestyling in Hurricane Force. This is a really beautiful truck. Another truck that you'd be really disappointed if it got torn up. Because, I mean, you just don't want to see this beauty just demolished. Oh my, big air. He's getting some really nice air right now. He's had a good year overall. He's having a good run. I would like to see him throw in a backflip, though. I mean, that would always be really awesome. And he hits the jammer, some big air, crossing it over that pod. Now doing something like he did in two-wheel scales, a little skywheelie. I mean, Hurricane Force, again, this is a truck that's been in the sport for a while, owned by Tim Menti, but piloted by Stephen Thompson. He's having a good run so far, though. I mean, he's comboing things up, getting big air. He just lacks that wow moment that we want to see in a run like this, but it really has been, I mean, this has been an underrated run. He's gotten some really nice air. He's kept the flow up. I mean, this is a better run than most drivers have had tonight. I mean, it was better than Brodozer, which flipped over. It was overall a really great run. Throwing into a donut, that was just for the fans. Sadly, the score is not going to reflect his great run. It's a 6.785. But up next, we have the Bakugan Dragonoid. Camden Murphy, like I said in previous commentaries, is looking for that first really great freestyle of the second quarter. I mean, he's had some solid runs. I think last week was probably his best one. It could have been argued that he had a great run out in Houston. But, I mean, it's difficult. It's been a difficult second quarter for him freestyle-wise. Hopefully Camden can throw down one heck of a freestyle out here. Because as we know, he has the capability to. Just hasn't really clicked for him. Some nice air at the beginning of his run, though. Some more massive air. I mean, Camden he's known for his combos. He gets huge air, comboing it into other things. He's a phenomenal driver. There's no other words for it other than he's in a different breed of driver. It's disappointing that he can't really get that high freestyle score in the second quarter that he's been looking for. I really think he's been underscored a lot. I think some of his scores have not reflected his actual runs. Like in Houston, he got a really low score and he really deserved a much higher one because he fills the floor. I mean, he goes hit after hit. He doesn't waste any time. He sees a jump, he floors it. Like that right there. I mean, he has such a unique driving style. It's impressive. This is the kind of drivers you could see with some huge air. This is the kind of guy you could see in a Max D or a Gravedigger. Probably a Max D because we don't see enough of those. I mean, just big air. I can't even. Oh no, he's on the side and he crab saves it. Wow. A cool little move there. He's able to throw his rear steer like that to save the truck. So a good run so far. He had that nice save. And oh my goodness, he just throws the truck across the track. It's reckless abandon. Camden Murphy he is the most dominant freestyler I think I've seen in a while. In terms of consistent just air and not caringness about his truck. I think the truck's broken though, which is going to be the end of it. I think a shock just flew off. So that'll be the end of the run. It's sadly only going to be a 7.983. It was a good run though. There's 4 trucks left to freestyle. I apologize. It's Gravedigger, Max D, Monster Energy, and Son of a Digger. Again, not necessarily in that order, but Gravedigger is first. Adam Anderson, he hasn't turned the lights on quite yet. And there are the lights, which means that Gravedigger's about to hit the track. All the fans are up on their feet because their favorite Monster Jam truck is about to hit the track. So let's see what Gravedigger can do when it hits the track out here. Adam Anderson is one of the top drivers in the sport. Again, you never know where he's going to land on the top 50 drivers of the year. Again, that list will begin on December 1st. You better be ready. If you want to get engaged already, I've been doing higher and lowers on my Instagram stories since the middle of October for every single driver from 2018's list. And we're already at number 21, which is Tristan England. So we are almost down to number 1, but Adam Anderson was high on the list last year. The question is, will he live up to that this year? I mean, he was an absolute dominant force all season long. His first quarter was absolutely unbelievable. He was the number 2 driver of the year last year. So the only way he can do better than that is to be the number 1 driver of 2019. It's a difficult task, so we will have to wait and see. He's got this show left. He also has the show out in Minneapolis. So you never know. I actually don't know if he's driving out in that Minneapolis show, but I do know that his season's winding down. But he's putting together a good run so far. This has been a solid combination of big air. That's what Adam Anderson does, though. He gets big air, and sometimes he'll do a cool move, but I mean, he's not the type of guy who's going to do a flashy move He's not going to do a bicycle to moonwalk or a backflip to moonwalk in his run. He's going to just stick to the basics, get some massive air, get the fans on their feet, throw in a backflip, and at the end of the day, because it's most likely going to be the best run, he'll find himself at the top of the leaderboards with some big air like that on the back end of the step up. I mean, there's no question that Adam Anderson he is a different breed. He hits the side of the ramp. Oh my goodness. He just floored it into the side of the ramp. And I don't even know what you wanted to call that. I mean, that truck was just flattening out on top of the step up, and he's cross-threading it from the jammer. Oh my goodness. The truck is going wild right now. He is really putting together a great run. Oh my, that truck is cocked in a different direction, and he does a pirouette. Great move out of Adam Anderson and Gravedigger. I believe that truck is done for. Seems like he bent that front right axle. It's going to be a 9.614. Your new leader is Adam Anderson in Gravedigger.
Season, Adam Anderson and Gravedigger's best freestyle score is a 9.743. He's going to have to be close tonight to take the lead. Your scores are locked from judgeszone.com. There's a look at the incredible.
So after that masterpiece of a run from Adam Anderson, we have 3 trucks left, and to kick it off will be Todd the Duke in Monster Energy. Going for some nice air over the racing lane right off the bat. We haven't seen Todd do many things here in second quarter. He also hasn't driven much in the United States. He's been overseas a few times. I mean, that's typically where Todd the Duke will stay, is overseas. But whenever he gets out in second quarter shows, you have to expect him to do some great things. 2017 was a really great second quarter for him. Had some awesome shows in the Mutant truck. Had a really nice showing in Foxborough, another really nice showing in Philly and MetLife. That was just a great second quarter for Todd the Duke. And since then, I mean, second quarter's been good for him in 2019, but again, he hasn't had the continued success that we've seen from him in first quarters throughout his career. It's kind of strange how certain drivers will excel in second quarters as opposed to in the first. Like Nick Pagliarulo didn't really have a successful first quarter, but I don't know what it is, but second quarter, it's like someone turned a switch and the dude's just on fire. Todd the Duke is out here trying to throw down the best freestyle he can. Adam Anderson is leading this competition. Adam Anderson and Todd the Duke will be on tour with each other next year, so these two better get used to going up head to head. You never know what you're going to see out here on the track from Todd the Duke. Some huge air. We haven't seen a backflip since Scott Buto. He was the only person to do a backflip as well in this freestyle competition. And oh my goodness! That truck is skying across the across the Arlington floor. What am I saying? So Todd the Duke, the Monster Energy truck, hitting the Monster Energy backflip ramp. And the truck is on all fours again. It seems like it's been shut off. So the truck has been shut off. The clock will be paused. He is refired. And let's see what he can do. He has a little bit of time left on the clock. He hits the gas pedal going over the step up. Some big air. Doesn't have much time left in his run, if any. Come on, camera, focus. So the time is up. None of this counts towards scoring. He does a barrel roll. A nice move from Todd the Duke in Monster Energy. However, that doesn't count towards the scoring. So his scores may be a little bit lower than they should be. That was a really great run, though. Todd most definitely just tore it up out here at AT&T Stadium. You've got a lot of great runs to piece together here as you look at scoring. I mean, Adam Anderson with a great showing. Adam is in the hot seat right now with a great save, a great run. But Todd did hit the backflip, did some other really cool things. He's out of the truck. You can see he is really excited right now. He's getting on top of that truck. Todd the Duke is really enjoying himself right now onto this track, throwing whatever that is that was around his back. The score to beat's a 9.614 from Adam Anderson and Gravedigger. The score coming in for Todd the Duke is it is an 8.801. That'll put him in third place, and not enough for the lead. It's all right. Todd did a great job out there, but you've got to believe that Adam Anderson still has had quite possibly the best run of the night, but there's 2 trucks left, and I think they're going to try and take that lead away from Adam. Up next, it is Max D Fire. That's right, Tom Mentz in Max D is coming out here. I mean, whenever Gravedigger's in the hot seat, you have to keep in mind that Max D and Gravedigger are arch enemies. They don't want to see each other in the hot seat for long. So when one of them comes out and the other's in the hot seat, they're going to do everything they can. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at it to win freestyle. So let's see if Tom Mentz can be successful at that sink throwing and pull away with a freestyle win today. Finally makes his first hit of the run. I mean, Tom is just he's such a unique driver. There's nobody like him. He's driving a front engine truck. That's already unique in of itself. That truck takes different bounces than any other Monster Jam truck out there. So he's already got it. Oh no, he stuffs it into the side of the step up. That is not what he wanted out of that hit right there, and it's going to be a 5.816, which leaves one driver left in freestyle. It is Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. He won the freestyle competition in the All-Star Challenge, and now he is back out here in AT&T Stadium, ready to rock it out for you loyal fans that have stuck around all the way to now. Starting his runoff, spinning it around, getting lined up for that center step up. That's a move we saw him do a lot in 2017 and 2018, and he's out here going and giving us some flashbacks of that amazing year that Ryan Anderson put down. And if he can throw down a freestyle that we saw so often in that year, well, I think Ryan Anderson might find himself holding a trophy at the end of the night. You never know. I mean, Ryan may end up even being in contention for the overall event championship. Oh my goodness, some impressive air right there. Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger, not Gravedigger, he only drove that once. In Son of a Digger, I don't even know how I messed that up. I'm so used to saying it. It's not like I'm used to saying Gravedigger, I don't know. Either way, Son of a Digger is out here freestyling, and I mean, just watch this run. There's nothing else like it. Getting some incredible air. It's always an impressive thing when this man's on the track. Always. You're never going to be disappointed. And he is absolutely flying right now. This truck just doesn't quit. He doesn't give it any leeway. He wants to just throw that truck into the ground. And as you know, even if the time is done, he's going to just keep running that truck till it's either on its lid or physically can't go forward anymore. Oh no, he's on 2 wheels. Can he save it? He's on the sidewalls, and he gets a nice sidewall donut save like he did in Santa Clara from 2018. And out right now, a good run for Ryan. Oh no, the truck is rolling over. And the run is going to come to an end. So, Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger, a good run. The score to beat is a 9.614 from Gravedigger. The score from Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger is a 9.066. Not quite enough to take the lead. So, your winner of freestyle today is Adam Anderson in Gravedigger. So what a show from out in Arlington, Texas. My first commentary with this new microphone. I'd say it was a pretty good one. But nonetheless, it was still a lot of fun. I mean, we came out here. It was a great show. These drivers really tore it up. Adam Anderson won the overall event championship as well with 40 points. So great day. But as you can see, this upcoming weekend on Friday and Saturday, you'll see my footage. Finally, my commentary of the All-Star Challenge. I'll be uploading those videos, the full videos. I'm not sure whether I want to do them before or after. I'm probably going to upload the videos to premiere at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. And then as you can see, I have the rest of the commentaries scheduled for 7 o'clock. I changed that primarily because I think 7 o'clock is a little bit more of a realistic time. Now that I am on the West Coast, I don't have as much time to do them. But thank you, everybody, for watching. And I will see you guys all next week.
Look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.